Monumenta is a Minecraft-based CTM MMO RPG. But even if you're familiar with each of those descriptors, its unique fusion of those elements can lead to some misconceptions and confusion about how it all works. So here's the gist of it. Monumenta is a cooperative, objective-based multiplayer Minecraft server. There are three major elements to its world. Firstly, a large, relatively benign overworld populated by vanilla mobs with a few cities and towns. Then, scattered across this world, are lots of smaller, tightly designed areas known as points of interest, or POIs for short. These areas have custom mobs, unique environments and layouts, and are the primary source of loot for most players. These range from cursed mine shafts to outlaw strongholds to pagan temples to fiery chasms, but the true challenge of Monumenta lies in the wool dungeons. Players must discover the entrance to each one, which grants the ability to create their own instance of the dungeon, which can only be accessed by them and a team of up to 7 players. The dungeons themselves are massive, self-contained areas, each specially designed around a central theme, aesthetic, and challenge, complete with objectives, traps, and the best loot in the game. They typically take several hours to conquer, and upon victory, each player receives a wool block corresponding to the dungeon, as well as an upgrade point, but we'll get to that later. Collecting the wool blocks from each dungeon in a region and placing them upon the monument at the end of that region will grant a player access to the next area of the game. Now, each of these three elements resets periodically. The overworld resets weekly, so all the creeper holes, harvested trees, and general clutter are cleaned up. The POIs, on the other hand, reset on a very short timer, between 5 minutes to an hour, depending on its size. Upon entering a POI, the timer begins counting down to the reset. This is the time you have to conquer it and get out, with warnings at the 2-minute and 30-second marks. If you're still inside the POI upon reset, everything will return to its natural state instantly. You probably don't want to be inside then. Players will begin the game in Seerhaven, the capital of Region 1, the King's Valley. Though there is lots to do in Seerhaven, the adventure lies to the east. Inside cities, players are in adventure mode and are immune to damage. Outside, all of Monumenta is survival. This means the world is there for you to farm, build, harvest, dig, and mine to your heart's content, but remember, it will be reset weekly. Additionally, it is eternally twilight in Monumenta. This means that the world is dark enough for hostile mobs to spawn, but light enough for friendly animals to spawn as well. Lastly, this is a PvE server. At the time this video was created, it is not possible to attack other players. The loot system is semi-random. Whenever a chest is spawned by a reset, its contents are unknown. The first time it is opened, it generates a set of contents from a custom pool of possibilities set by the creators for that chest. This includes weapons, tools, armor, food, potions, building blocks, and a small chance for a special rare class of gear. And in general, the more difficult the area, the better the loot. There are lots of things to do in Monumenta aside from exploring and raiding POIs and dungeons. The story is told through quests, with dialogue, puzzles, lore, and unique rewards that cannot be gained otherwise. Each city has shops to browse and secrets to find. There are jumping and movement challenges woven into the design of the cities with currency rewards upon victory. There's also a daily challenge system in which you conquer a random POI for special rewards, a casino to gamble for rare and unique gear, and a transmogrifier system where you sacrifice 4 pieces of lower tier equipment for a single piece of higher tier equipment, as well as an active player economy to supplement your adventuring needs. In terms of player housing, there are 3 kinds available in Seerhaven, which are immune to the weekly resets and secure from other players. The first is an apartment, which you can rent for just a few levels and gives you access to a small amount of secure storage and crafting, but cannot be customized. From there, you can purchase a plot of your own once you've completed a few quests and earned some money. Here you have freedom to build your own house to your heart's content. Finally, a group with 5 or more players can form a guild with their own large plot to share and build on. Lastly, the combat in Monumenta uses a custom class-based system. When beginning your adventure, you choose a class at the Academy, which can be changed later for a moderate price. Each class has unique perks and abilities. Each time you conquer a wool dungeon for the first time, you gain a permanent skill point to be used in upgrading this class. To give you a rough idea, mages use enchanted wands to cast area of effect spells that deal damage, freeze groups of enemies, and blast them away. Their arrows are also enchanted with fire and ice. Warriors have excellent melee abilities, being able to deal damage while blocking, destroy enemy armor, and repel groups of enemies with critical strikes. Rogues forego a shield in exchange for a second sword, and deal massive single-target damage while being able to debuff groups of enemies at close range. Clerics can heal and buff other players and excel at fighting the undead. Scouts have greatly enhanced speed and jumping height, and extremely powerful archery skills. Lastly, the alchemists loot offensive potions from mobs they kill, which they can then use directly or convert into traps and apply wither at long range. And all this is just the beginning. More regions, POIs, quests, and features are still to come. Hope this was helpful, and thank you for watching.